very good morning to everybody. Thank you for joining us on our sunrise safari. My name is Cedric, and behind the camera with me on Rusty, we've got Gert. So yes, it is a beautiful morning this morning. It is quite warm. I don't even know why I've got my gloves on. It's pretty warm this morning. So yeah, that's a great start for a Friday, and I'm sitting on the western side of Djuma at the moment. I'm trying to search for that cheetah that they had coming across from Simambili yesterday afternoon. So I'm looking for any tracks around here, hoping that I'm going to be lucky with that cheetah this morning, but you never know. But yes, as you can see, it is alive and it's an interactive show. So if you've got any comments or questions or even suggestions, please send them through. If you are watching on the WildEarth app or the website, make sure that you do register with us. Of course, joining us on drive this morning on Wendy, we've got Lauren and Odie. Of course, up there at Madikwe, a very big welcome to Trishala and a new cameraman, Lloyd. So yes, I'm hoping they're going to have a fantastic time there in Madikwe. In Pridelands, we're going to have Chris and Johan. And all the way down in the south, in the Eastern Cape, Tess and Morgan at Amakala. So yes, please send those questions and comments through to us. We are rearing to get out here this morning and find some amazing animals. As I said, I'm on the western side of Djuma. My plan is I'm going to try and look for this cheetah. If not, maybe Shadulu or tortoise span, that male leopard or the female leopard. So yes. Lorvito, Pravita, didn't get that name at all. But yes, Tlalamba would be fantastic. Would be amazing finding that female, fantastic finding that female leopard this morning around. Maybe I'll go try and work a little bit further to the east. Sorry, Gwen, what was the name there? You said Pravita or Levita? Didn't get that name. Mozito. Thank you. Thanks, Gwen. Yep. I went through a few names there. But yes, Tlalamba would be fantastic. I think that would make my day as well. So I will end up going into that area later on. But I think for now, I'm just trying to search for any tracks on that cheetah, because we do not get cheetahs that often around on Djuma. I think the last one was in March with Ben, so yes, that's why we don't have that perfect habitat for cheetah on Djuma. We don't have those big open clearings, pretty much, which cheetahs enjoy more compared to what we have here. We got typical savanna woodlands, very thick areas. But let's take a look. I'm only thinking that cheetah, if it did come onto Djuma, we'll try and cross as quick as possible, heading to another open clearing. But yeah, I think Lauren's going towards Quarantine, a big open clearing just south of our camp, and she's going to go and try and follow up around there. But yesterday afternoon was a lot of fun. Yes, I am a little bit stiff. I am a little bit sore, but it's fine. It was a lot of fun. So, but anyway, are we going to continue searching around this side? Let's look at the weather today.
Good morning. What a lovely day out here on the Pridelands Conservancy. And we are ready and waiting for the sun to rise. It's going to rise in a moment or two. And it's quite misty, quite foggy. And it brings forth one or two challenges for us. One of them is our lens. Seems to fog up quite a bit. So you might see Johan wiping the lens every now and then. Yes, Johan is still with us on camera ops, and my name is Chris Erasmus, and our plan this morning is to just go and enjoy. It's my last morning for this shift, after which I'll take a very short break of about 5 days. But anyway, I'm hoping to find some lions, and we did hear some lions during the night all over. And as we know, the Ngati Pride has split up into several groups, and all these groups were communicating with each other last night. So I'm really hoping to find some lions. And there's the sun coming out right now. Perfect timing. And weather-wise, we could not have asked for any better. It is nice and cold, as it's normally the case this time of the day. And we're just going to quickly wipe our lens. This is going to happen a few times. And basically, we're looking forward to another nice warm day, a lovely warm late winter's day. Very pleasant weather, according to the forecasts. There's the sun now coming out. Now, for those who were with us yesterday, will remember that we had those beautiful 2 lionesses on the dam wall, and I'm hoping to continue with that. Good morning, Debbie. Just wishing us good luck on this misty morning. Thank you so much, Debbie. And how are we going to go about? We're going to start from here, where we are at very close to the camp, and we're going to work our way directly northwards. I want to go and take a look around Leopard Dam, which is in the northwest, and then work the northern section in a zigzag fashion eastwards, all along the northern boundary, the eastern boundary. And I'm hoping that somewhere there we would find some lion tracks. And then obviously as we go along, we are hoping to find anything of interest. Anyway, our sun is pretty much up now. We're going to head out. Let's go over to Lauren, see what she's up to at this time in the morning.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the WildEarth. Wendy. Who are we? Oh, I better watch where I'm driving. Good morning, my name is Lauren, and I do have Uncle Owen on camera today. Yes, I do. And as you can see, we're moving.
Hail to thee, blithe spirit, bird thou never wert, that from heaven or near it pourest thy full heart in profuse strains of unpremeditated art. Higher still and higher from the earth thou springest, like a cloud of fire, the blue deep thou wingest, and singing still dost soar, and soaring ever singest.
Right, I'm still on the western side of Djuma, still trying to search in this area just to see if I can pick up on those tracks of the cheetah, but no luck on that so far. I'm also heading in towards another place called Zoe's Road, and I just want to go take a look if that leopardess or Shudulu hasn't come onto Djuma or tortoise pan. So we shall just move very slowly. It's a beautiful morning, absolutely stunning. The sun is coming out. It's not that cold at all. It's really, I don't even know why I've got gloves on, but it's my lucky gloves. So let's see, maybe the luck is on my side somewhere, and to see if we are going to get any luck with some sort of cat this morning early enough. So it's always important. I always believe going out early in the morning like this, very important. So if you're in the Kruger National Park or any kind of area in South Africa, Go out early in the morning, go out just before the sun comes up, and as you can still find predators moving around like your lions and your leopard, early hunts of cheetah, wild dogs. So yes, and I know Lauren says, and I fully agree with Lauren, early morning is my favorite time of the day, especially for animals, animal wise. Standing by.
What is that? That, really also for Ghana, Ghana.
Nothing so far. I'm on the western sector of Djuma, so I haven't seen anything this side.
Okay, copy, thanks. Thanks, no problem.
Yeah, up it. So the guys are just talking to me from another lodge. He's just asking for a Hlambingala, meaning a pride of lions. So yeah, that's what he's asking for. There's a lot of hyena tracks going down the road. Loads of hyena tracks. I don't know where these hyenas have been during the night time, but then again, every single road will have hyena tracks because hyenas will cover this entire property. Alright, let's come up to this junction. Oh, there's something that ran across here. Right, yes, it'll be nice. Some leopard luck. Oh, look, we've got already some luck here. And, wow, we've got a big white rhino. Beautiful boy, look at that, just the size. He's like a tank. A couple of oxpeckers on the side, those birds, little red-billed oxpeckers. Because they're not feeding at the moment. They'll usually be picking some of the parasites off the skin of the animal, but seems like these two birds are just enjoying a good old ride for now. No feeding as of yet. But how beautiful is this boy? Huge male. So they are territorial, these the male white rhino. So you'll find that they will be marking areas around the vicinity. Little middens.
Attention all nature enthusiasts and budding safari rangers. Get ready for an epic showdown in the wild. From July 30th to August 1st, witness our skilled rangers competing head-to-head, racing to identify the most animal species. Only one will be crowned king or queen of the ranger race. Don't miss your chance to be part of this thrilling adventure. Jump on board and join the race.
Heart is pumping right now.
to become a skilled safari guide, traversing the African bush and encountering wild animals up close. Whether you're a retiree, a recent graduate, or a professional seeking a change, the 55-day eco-training program is for you. This comprehensive course will provide you with an unparalleled opportunity to gain expertise in every aspect of the African bush. With the coaching of experienced training guides, you'll embark on an unforgettable adventure that will give you a deep understanding of wildlife, conservation, and African cultures. Over the course of the program, you'll learn essential skills such as animal tracking, bird identification, and bush survival techniques. But the benefits of this rigorous training go far beyond technical knowledge. You'll also form close bonds with fellow nature enthusiasts and conservationists from around the world, creating a global network of like-minded individuals. Your days will be filled with excitement and wonder as you observe animals in their natural habitats and explore the diverse landscapes of Africa. Return home with newfound knowledge, a qualification, unforgettable memories, and a sense of accomplishment that will last a lifetime.
Good morning everyone from a very chilly, very crisp but beautiful Madikwe Game Reserve, and we're starting off with some giraffe. In fact, just leaving our camp, there was so much going on, and I'm really having a fantastic time here at Madikwe Game Reserve, and I haven't seen your faces in such a long time. I've heard you and kind of connected through live at the waterhole, but I haven't seen your face and you haven't seen mine. Hi everyone, it's me, Trishala. So excited to be here. So excited to spend the next about 11 days with all of you here at Madikwe Game Reserve. We're going to do some exploring. I'm going to learn the roads, that old chestnut, and yeah, we're going to see what Madikwe has to offer. Now already, as we left camp, there was some spotted hyenas that had made a kill. We couldn't tell what it was, but it was right outside the gate of the camp. Unfortunately, it was also quite dark at that point. So maybe we'll turn around and go in that direction again. But for now, we're going to stick around with these giraffe. And I must say, because, you know, we love to whinge about the cold, don't we? It's actually not as bad as I thought it would be. Now, the last time we saw each other or heard each other, we were moving through the different waterholes, live at the waterhole, and we were spending time at Jamala. And it was really exciting. Oh my goodness, I can't believe it. I didn't even tell you who my cam up is. It's Lloyd, everyone. You can show them your thumb, Lloyd. There's Lloyd's part of Lloyd's thumb. Thank you, Rolling Trouble. You say hi, and you also reminded me that, yes, I have Lloyd on camera with me. If you're wondering who on earth is Lloyd, Lloyd used to do Penguin Beach way back in the day. And now he's out here in the bush. So I'm hoping, I mean, there's so much I would love to do while we're out here in Madikwe, and we have a short time together here. But I'm hoping that we could maybe follow up on that brown hyena den site that Lauren found some time back. Hopefully it'll go well there. I mean, really, I would love to see some brown hyena. I haven't seen one. Oh, well, I did from a distance. But I'd love to get to know brown hyenas a little. I'd like to spend some time with the spotted hyenas as well. Oh, you know, I shouldn't even do this because you know me. I hate to pick favorites, and I hate to tell you that I want to see this animal or that animal. It's always very, very difficult. Well, I've just heard a game drive vehicle go past us now because we're, like I said, we're quite close to the lodge. So lots of people are moving through. Hi Kabuki, thank you for joining us. You say that you just can't So today, I like that attitude, Kabuki. I think that's a good way to look. Always thought about it, or I suppose once we stop getting over rides, we kind of want to see everything and just pack it all in and try really hard to find animals. And then the more seasoned you get, the more you kind of realize that you're just there, and it's what the bush wants to give you that day. So Kabuki, I think that's excellent. Let's just see what happens today. But I would be lying if I didn't say that I would really like to see a brown hyena and a chameleon, of course. Stunning views here. Anyway, we're going to keep on going, and like Kabuki says, let's see what we're going to find today. But I'm going to send you back over to Lauren, who's enjoying a sunrise in Djuma.
Trishala, enjoy Madikwe. You will have the best time down there, my goodness. Daunting at first, but I just know you will love it. And look at the tusks on you, boy. It reminds me of Norman, the bull we used to have around. Look at that slit in his right ear. Could make him quite easy to identify. Perfect, thick tusks. He's a big boy. Not quite a big tusker, but the girth on those tusks are really, that's quite something. Okay, Owen, I'm just going to move. It will be now an Ellie bum shot, but what could be better? Driving down the cut line with this magnificent bull. I see your tail, okay. Wow. He's on Djuma, just on the very, very northeastern corner. Just tapping his big feet into our property, which is great news, of course. And if you look at the ground, look at all the new shoots. This is a fire break, and there are just new shoots everywhere. It's looking remarkably green on the ground for winter. It's incredible. If you think about it, we're in July, and all these new shoots are just springing up everywhere. Well, those new shoots are getting pulled out. What are you doing? Can you hear him? He's pulling something up. And just reflecting on yesterday, Cedric and I did dig for water.
Yeah,
But we did dig in a sort of semi-established hole from an elephant. So we did do some digging. But the reason we didn't do it from scratch was because it would have taken such a long time. It is actually really hard to get all the sand out of the way. You really had to use your muscles. And muscles I apparently don't have anymore. And it just blew my mind, the strength that the elephant has to have to quite easily dig all the way down into the ground, past the soft sand. The soft sand is easy. Anyone can do that. But once you get into the more solid, wet, sort of moist sand that's all compacted underground, it's really difficult. And yet these guys do it with ease, just by using their trunk. And they get down to water really quickly. And I can see why they do it. It was actually quite delicious. Maybe not Cedric's, but mine was yummy. Yes, it obviously had sediment and it tasted quite earthy, but it was delicious. Tasted really clean and really fresh. But it was hard work. And of course, they know the water's there. They can smell it. The Mawati's practically flowing under the ground. We just can't see that. We can't smell it. We can't hear it, but it's all there. There's a lot of water in there. And of course, the Ellies know that. Oh, look at you. I feel like he's listening to me with one ear. Okay. He's really far away from us. He's just given us a little bit of a head shake.
Hi, my name is Claire. WildEarth has been part of this home for many years as it connects us to the bush and the culture that we love and miss so much. I became an explorer so that other people around the world can get to experience the African bush in this unique way as well. I am beyond excited that I was drawn to win the prize at Amakhala Game Reserve for 3 nights. It is truly a dream come true.
Sign up today and you could be the one experiencing it for yourself.
Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to a fantastic spotted cat start at Amakhala Game Reserve. We're down in the Eastern Cape province of South Africa, and it is amazing to start a day on safari with cheetahs. Very exciting. My name is Tess, behind the camera is Morgan. Thank you for joining us this morning. I hope that you were ready for some Saturday. It's not Saturday, is it? Friday luck. Friday cat luck. There you go, that's where we're at. We've got 2 of the 3 young male cheetahs having a nice relaxing time. It looks like they're quite awake at this point. They're not sleeping. Well, one is trying to sleep, but it definitely looks like they're a little bit more nervous than usual. Now it all makes sense because this morning at about 3 a.m. a male lion was reported coming this way. So that's the big male lion of the Amakhala Pride was reported coming this way. And I think the cheetahs, you look how nervous they are. I think they're trying to make sure that this lion is not coming for them. If you're wondering where cheetah number 3 is, he is around. Don't worry, he's just hiding behind a bush, close to where one of the other vehicles is in the sighting. And as soon as he comes on over, I'm sure you'll see him. Now they are looking as though they want to make sure that nothing at all is moving way close by. And that is exactly what we want to see in cheetah behavior when we know that there's other predators around. It's what they should be doing all the time, but naturally they know that there might be another predator closer than usual. So you can see normally where they'd be lying down quite happily cuddling and fast asleep. They're scanning, they're watching, they are just making sure of what exactly is in the immediate area. Tracy, it is the best start for Amakhala. We are super, super, super happy. It is wonderful to see these boys at any point of the day. But to start off a day with them is even better. And the start of the weekend, I mean, having a cat party over here. We were all really, really keen to come and have a look in this area because we know the male lion was seen coming this way, pretty close by. We were all quite keen to come and have a look how the boys are doing, to see how they have managed to evade the lion, if they had. And they have, which is even better. They really have. They've done a great job. It makes me very happy to see that such young cheetahs are so lion savvy. Now all we can hope for is that the male lion isn't hiding in one of the thickets in the immediate area and decides to leave them alone, turn around and move off. Victor, I can definitely give you an example of how that interaction would probably go down. Now, of course, this is very open to interpretation. It's also very open to changes because it's going to depend on every little situation. But in a situation like this, where we are, if the male lion managed to come up this way, he would probably take a jog, a solid jog at these cheetahs as soon as he gets close enough. So he'll try and stalk his way close and he starts running at them. What the 3 boys will do, they might hiss, they might try and show some intimidation tactic, but more likely they are going to run for the hills at speed. They are not going to stick around and try and fight with the male lion. They're going to keep running and keep running and keep running until they've outrun the male lion and he has to start tracking them all over again. If, for example, they get cornered, though, it'll be very, very different. So if the cheetahs get into a situation where they can't get away from the lion, in all seriousness, the most likely thing that will happen is the lion will go for one of 3 cheetahs. He will probably target the weakest looking one or the closest one to him, depending on the situation, and kill it. The other 2 during that time will hopefully have the chance to move off and run away. It's a very morbid end to the story, but it is a possibility. That is ultimately what happens in competition between predators. The idea is to try and eliminate the competition. And so all that we hope is that the cheetahs just keep moving and keep outrunning and keep evading. Because it's not often the male lion comes over to the side. I think I've only seen him over this side once before. And it was when we had him and the big lioness stalking buffaloes, and the cheetahs were on the other side of the same buffalo. So we had cheetahs and then buffaloes and then lions. The buffaloes were kind of the ham and the sandwich, or the beef and the cat sandwich, I suppose. So that's the only time that I've actually seen the male lion come this far west. So every time he comes here, or we think he might be coming here, we know he's coming here because he can smell the cheetahs. They like to spend time in this area. They're also territorial. So it kind of allows it allows him to start tracking them, and they need to be 3 steps ahead and try and evade. But we really hope that it doesn't ever come to that. From what we can tell, they have had an interaction with the male lion before, but he was distracted. He was on a kill. So you would think that would make him more aggressive, but if he's not threatened by 3 cheetahs, he's not going to worry to get up and leave his kill. He's going to keep feeding. If they were a little bit closer, he might have felt threatened and tried to chase them, and they would have just run off, but he won't leave the carcass because he doesn't want to lose it. So that kind of gives him an anchor point that he doesn't want to leave. If, however, he was just walking past here on the road, the cheetahs, if they spotted him first, would move off very quickly. If he spotted the cheetahs first, he'd stalk up and then run at them as soon as he feels he is close enough that he has a chance of actually catching them. And hopefully they get away fast enough. I would love to see these boys wake up and stand on that termite mound that's behind them. It's quite a large termite mound for the area. Kiki, the double chin love is so real. They are getting so big and so chunky. It's actually quite shocking. Quite shocking. You can actually see the little double chin on him. Oh, as he's jerking. Don't know if he almost fell asleep or if a fly or something bothered him, but that was quite cute. He is starting to nod though. You can see his head is moving. We could see him nicely earlier, now he's starting to disappear behind the bush. But yes, they are eating really well. They're in excellent condition, and they're definitely impressing us day by day. Doing a fantastic job. I don't know what they've eaten, but they've definitely eaten more since the last time we saw them, because we couldn't really see much definition in the belly at all, when now we can see they are at least a little bit rounded. They're looking a bit more chunky. They probably had a smallish kill. If they'd had a big kill, we would have found them on it. But a smallish kill for them is a big kill for another cheetah. If it's a lone cheetah, an impala is a pretty decent kill. For these 3, an impala will go nowhere very quickly. They eat so much. Darcy Miller, you're welcome. It's nice catching up with the boys, always. It seems like the other cheetah has actually settled. Don't know if he's going to come and join, but we'll try and get a little view of him just now. Can maybe move a bit forward just now and try and show you. So there are some hardy daws calling away in the background there. Morgan's favourite. Very loud birds. Got cheetah's attention. You can see they've both turned their heads. And in Johannesburg, where Gwyn, the lovely voice in my ears, they've got Egyptian geese calling in the background. Thank you, Gwyn. Gwynny, Gwynny, Gwynny. Look how the one at the back has kind of just sunk over onto his side. Now you can see a little bit of that white belly fluff. They've definitely eaten. They're looking round. You can see the white belly fluff. You can see how big the belly actually is. They've done well. And he's so full, he just wants to nap. Hey, pretty boy. Oh, what a start to the morning. Boys are looking so good. And I'm very happy that all 3 of them are here, because we were a bit worried that the male lion might have caught up with him. We still don't know where he's gone. There have been 3 of us in the area this morning looking for him, and somehow none of us have found him yet.
How much do you know about what it takes to become a safari guide? How much do you know about being a game ranger? In celebration of World Ranger Day, we are hosting a fireside chat. Come along for some interesting discussions with our naturalists and special guests. From game drives to bushwalks and everything in between, we're unpacking how to become a safari guide. WildEarth, it's in your nature.
I don't see anything just yet, but we'll give it a moment. I think I'm just gonna face this side and have a look. If you think about a jackal's coat, it's so perfect for blending into this kind of and you can see it's really dry here at Madikwe at the moment, so a lot of that sandy brown color mixed with a bit of gray, a lot of darkness as well from the dark stems, the gray. So hopefully the jackal will pop out. Maybe, okay, move forward. Okay, let's move forward a little bit. Okay, we'll just wait. Let's just wait. Also, you know how much that us at WildEarth, we love to continue with our mission, which is to connect people with nature. And if you'd like to help us out with that, please head over to our website and go over to donations. Because we love doing what we're doing and we love bringing the wildlife of Africa to viewers across the world. I'm going to keep on trying my jackal, but let's see what the bush gives today.
Alright, I'm slowly heading now towards Treehouse Dam. I had tracks for a male lion, I'm sure for Mohawk, coming across a big open clearing just south of our camp, heading in like a southwesterly direction. He went into a block just south of a road called Rebecca's. I'm just going to come around towards Treehouse Dam for now. It is a little bit thick that side, so I'm not going to try and walk that block at the moment. I think I'll rather just do huge loops around where Treehouse Dam is. There's some buffalo tracks here as well, buffalo dung and tracks. I wonder if this is not from the other day. It looks a little bit old. Alright, let's come up towards Treehouse Dam. I think I bought some property yesterday afternoon on the dam wall, and yeah, got the grazers for it. I don't know why Egyptian geese are making a noise, yeah, but let's just take a look. Yeah, that goose, that goose is still laughing. Yeah, he's still loving it. Yep, there it is. All right, let's quickly stop here. We'll take a look at the Egyptian geese. Oh, there goes a grey heron. No. I'm just going to get my binocs out. As you see, a grey heron has just taken off here now from the dam. The way it's going, I'm sure it's going to end up going towards Gari Dam. And then of course you've got the Egyptian geese right on top here, on top of this dead tree, calling away. Well, I'm just going to scan this area. I just want to double check on why it's making that noise. Sometimes you never know when you're sitting at a dam like this. Always believe, just be patient, scan the area, grab your binocs, and just to see what's happening around in the thick areas. No, I don't see too much except for the two Egyptian geese. There's another one that's sit pretty much here on the bank. Lawrence, the first leopard that I met in Djuma. Oh. Well, the first leopard I met, put it this way, the first leopard I had an encounter with in the northern Sabi Sands in 2010 was Tundi. That was the first leopard I had an encounter with, Tundi. I think that's why I kind of really got that attachment to that female leopard. Oh, this thing is noisy. Oh, there they go. Bye! Yeah, go make a noise somewhere else, thank you. So yeah, Tundi was pretty much the first one that I got to see in the northern Sabi Sands. And yes, it is a beautiful leopardess. I enjoyed seeing her every single time. I think I saw her about 1,000 times, but I do miss her. You know, Tundi, that female leopard, do miss her quite a bit, but it's fine. All right, well, we're going to still just sit here a little bit longer, just to listen out for anything. I just want to see if anything is going to come around to this dam. I know Lauren's got some elephants, or she had an elephant. Alright, well, we're going to just continue moving towards Twin Dams. Let's head over to Lauren as she's made her way to the hyena den.
Good luck, setters. Good morning, little June bug. Very busy. It's only 7:20 in the morning. It's not the best views, but what we've done is we've tried to position ourselves with a clear view of the entrance. June is not here, but Intima is. Intima's hiding in her little spot. She's always in this spot now. Wanting a break from the cub or cubs, but also staying very close by because she's a new mommy. So it's not the best views, but we just need to try and make sure we see that entrance, just in case. There we go. We're actually on a slope downwards from the entrance, so it's not ideal. That is a really deep, substantial hole in there. I can see why they chose this den. Oh, Intima, I can't wait. But luckily we've got a little June bug for now, who's always entertaining. And I'm sure just loving the fact that he's not sleeping alone anymore. What are you doing? We've had to eat where he just does not sit still. Mm-hmm. And just to recap from yesterday, June was here. And Tima and June interacted. June was the more dominant one. And June investigated the entrance and sort of said hello to the new life that is in there. And it's funny because Tima normally plays with Junebug. They normally really have a right old play. But right now, I think she's just shattered. She looks really tired. And she may not have fed for a couple of days. She might have, but she also might not have. Sam, not like an antelope. They're a little bit more developed than your lions and your leopard cubs. But not like an antelope or a zebra that can walk almost immediately, and then they can run within about 20 minutes. Not like that. They are den bound, and they may be able to move on their four legs, as in just reposition the body, but walk, no. It takes a few days for that, and even then they're very wobbly. But yes, they can maneuver their little bodies. But it's more like a crawl. If you've ever seen a newborn leopard cub, it's very similar in that regard. But they can move after a few days. But they really don't have to go far. They're just going to crawl all over mommy and then in the den. But then once they get moving, Sam, oh my goodness, they get moving. Look at this one. What are you up to? You're running circles around us here. But I just want to spend as much time as possible at the day, and obviously we think there is a new cub or our cubs, and just to see all the other members too. Elka, you're so welcome. Really, this is the only time we're going to get to spend with the clan. I mean, we did get quite lucky the other day by having about 6 of them outside camp, but that doesn't happen every day, I'm afraid. So if you really want to spend time with them, you're going to have to come to the den. And luckily, no one else really bothers to come. It's mostly just us. You can really see that spot pattern starting to come through. Ray, I couldn't tell you how their eyesight is at birth. I really don't know that. But they are said to be born with their eyes fully open. But from what I witnessed with Ribbon, Ngwazi and Shimbulu back in the day in 2020, their eyes are sort of half open. Not completely fully open like they are now, but sort of little slits, so they are open. But obviously, leopard and lion cubs are said to be born almost blind. But with hyenas, I just don't know, Ray. I couldn't tell you because I just can't find that information. But I will try my very best to find out exactly how their eyesight is. They are still born altricial. They're just not said to be as altricial as the others. I don't think they're born completely blind. But Ray, I will research that for you. I'm trying my hardest to also listen to see if we can hear any squeaks or squirtering. It's not Junebug. We did yesterday, but I'd love you guys to hear it too. They're only going to squeal when they wake up and want milk. Baby hyena, you're saying Junebug is probably so happy. I know. I know. Wait till Junebug really realizes that once they get a little bit older, they can actually play. Right now, they're very much den bound. I'd love to see them, and then we can really look at their eyes and their mobility. And I say they, I'm only saying that because it is always assumed that hyenas give birth to twin litters. But I don't actually know how many cubs are in there. But wait till Junebug realizes they're not just going to sit still. Oh no, they can play. That's going to be very fun. Okay, it goes without saying we are going to sit here a little bit longer.
We love all the support. We read all the comments, and now we want to acknowledge our biggest fans. Do you know when Ribbon was seen last? Or the names of June's cubs? Do you remember the last time we were up close and personal with an elephant? If you answered yes to any of these questions, then you are in for a treat. WildEarth's Fan of the Month. We are looking for you. For more details, make sure to read our monthly mailer and keep an eye out on our social media pages. WildEarth, it's in your nature.
Righty, let's head on. Let's do this. See if we can find those zebras. So the lion came from that side. He's exited on that side, behind us to the right. The cheetahs are far on the left. The third one was still hiding when we left. We did see him. He's looking good. They're all looking good. They're all looking like they had a yummy meal. One had a bit of blood on the back of his leg. I don't know if that was still from their meal that they ate. Probably. We're going to see if we can find you some of those zebras. It was actually a little bit eerie this morning when we came through. We obviously use a spotlight in the dark just to try and get a sense of what's happening where. And with the spotlight, in one particular area behind all the thickets, which tells us there were predators around, we had eland, kudus, zebras, what else? Impalas, and there was something else, jackals, and gemsbok, 6. All in one little area. So they're probably sitting there going, there's a lion, nobody move, there's a lion. So we'll see if we can find them.
Yay, we've got some elephants, and you can see a little youngster, a little calf, that's just enjoying a little bit of grass and not an old one, maybe like a 2-year-old. And of course, right next to the youngster, we've got Mom. Hello. How beautiful is this? Lovely, lovely find for this sunrise safari. Always good to have a herd of elephants, especially these youngsters. And of course there is others in others. Sorry, that was just quickly the radio, just putting the radio down there. And you can see his mom is also enjoying, which looks like a lot of combretums, a lot of bush wallows around here. So she is enjoying that for the morning. As you know, elephants, they will just eat and eat and eat. Good, at least 85% of their day they will just be feeding on all different kinds of vegetation, from grasses, roots, leaves, bulbs. Oh, that one's trying to get something out there. You can see using that front right leg. He's trying to dig maybe a root or something out from the ground. I love watching these youngsters. Is he getting stuck there? He needs to get out. But he won't venture off too far from Mom. As you know, Mom is next to him, so he'll just stay very close to her. But they're very much oblivious of our presence, which is always nice. Sometimes you get these youngsters, they'll show a little bit of attitude when we arrive, and then they'll start flaring up their ears, especially when they know they've got the backing of Mom. Oh, Leo, what age do elephant calves start eating vegetation? Oh, Leo, that is, I'm not too sure on that. I'm sure like about 6, 7, 8 months. Slowly but surely, but they will rely more on Mom's milk in the beginning. But they will nurse from Mom right up to the age of 4 or 5 years old. But eating vegetation itself, no idea on that, Leo. Well, I say about a 2-year-old. I can just see, you'll find that if he's about 4 and up, you'll see next to where the tusks come out from underneath the lip, you'll start seeing those little white tusks coming through. But being at the age of 1 to 4 years old, there's nothing. And just by the size. It looks like he's got a little bit of a smile on his face. He's very happy. Oh, what has he got there now? Oh. Alright, now he's got a big piece of, I don't know if he's going to really put that in his mouth. Maybe just grab, of course, eat the outside of it. Look at, you see that little tongue? No, he doesn't want it. Lisa, yes, it's such a joy seeing these youngsters. I love it. Oh, look at that little tongue. He's trying his utmost best to grab something off of that branch. Mommy's gonna bomb the shot. Good. Look at you. You're a beautiful girl. Hello. And you can see the female's head that's how you can tell the difference between male and female. Especially when they get a little bit older, you can see that angle right on top. With the female, it's got a very much almost like a 90-degree angle there. When it comes to a male's very much a round head on top. So the skull is very roundish. As well, the male's head is much larger, trunk is wider. Oh, she is enjoying that piece of wood. Of course, fantastic, the huge sets of molars in that mouth. Because when they put it in and putting the branches in their mouth, and they'll actually kind of roll it around to strip off all that cambium layer that's pretty much on the outskirts of the inner branch. They make it look so simple how they break these branches. For us, we have to bend it and back and forth to try and grab one of those branches off these trees. But yeah, well, we're going to sit here a little bit longer with these elephants. They are absolutely gorgeous. But yeah, let's go over to Lauren as she's got a very active June bug.
Yes, a very active June bug indeed. Now, I was just referencing my mammals app just to find out more about eyesight for Ray. And obviously, a lot of people now agree that we think June bug is a boy. That could change in time, but I think for now he's a boy. And it's interesting, I read here, natal males are socially dominant over immigrants. They exhibit higher hourly rates of aggression and win all fights with immigrants. But natal males have lower plasma testosterone levels than immigrant males. And what this tells you or suggests is that testosterone secretion in post-pubertal spotted hyenas is stimulated by the act of dispersing. I thought that was very interesting. So the natal males are the ones that are very aggressive, and they've obviously done a study hour by hour levels of aggression, and they seem to win all fights. But the testosterone levels in the plasma are actually lower than the immigrant males. So that act of dispersing, when they come to that sort of stage past puberty, when they should be dispersing, not all do, that is when they get that spike in testosterone, and that must be a key to surviving as a male who's leaving your natal clan and you've got to go into an immigrant clan. That's a hard time. I don't imagine that would be easy, just like I don't imagine it's easy for a male lion who has to leave the pride, or even a male elephant who has to leave the herd. So even after dispersal, you go through a testosterone spike, but the dispersal males are still submissive in all their encounters. Fascinating. We know they enter an immigrant clan right at the bottom. Even if they've been the matriarch's son, even if they're extremely high ranked, when they go to their new clan, they've got to be very careful. They've got to learn the dynamics, and they really do come in at the bottom. But yet their testosterone levels are higher. So sorry, Ray, that interesting fact distracted me from finding out about the cubs, but I'm getting there. Yep, the app says they are born in an advanced stage with their eyes fully open and teeth fully erupted. So there you go. I would imagine that in terms of eyesight, they can see. but it doesn't actually talk about eyesight, if that makes sense. It just talks about whether their eyes are open or not. So Ray, I feel like I failed you in answering that question, but I'll keep researching.
Cedric.
You know, I wonder if also June might spend a little bit less time at the den. She does need to be at the den. She's got a 3-month-old cub here, of course. But there's now another adult here, and she will understand that. It's now communal. So maybe when Intima comes here, June will sort of go away and hunt or scavenge or find food somewhere. And maybe she's given Intima space, or maybe there's absolutely no correlation at all. And it's just a timing thing. Karen, it's unlikely. To be honest, I don't actually know where June sits in the clan. I'm very much at the stage where I don't quite know the hierarchy like I used to. I think there's been a shift within the adult females, or the start of a shift. So I just quite don't know who's sitting where. But from June's behaviour yesterday, I do think she's more dominant over Intima, and I'm going to guess she's more dominant over Ribbon too. But in answer to your question, they don't allosuckle, not like lions. But sometimes you will see a low-ranked female, maybe the female that's at the very bottom, like Ribbon used to be back in the day, and if a high-ranked cub tries to suckle by being sort of naughty and greedy and smelling milk and wanting milk because they're high-ranked, they've got that sort of intrinsic behaviour, the low-ranker adult may allow it. So sometimes you will see that really high-ranked cub, the matriarch's son or daughter, suckling from a really low-ranked female, who's also got cubs, of course, who's also got full mammary glands. But that's more bullying and just allowance of that naughty behaviour than it is official allosuckling. So in terms of Junebug, I don't think so. But of course, he's drawn to the smell of milk. That's what he loves and he craves right now. So if he smells milk, he might actually try to suckle from any of the lactating females. But not many of the females will. Oh, that's a big stick. I didn't catch that name, but yes, it does seem like collecting toys. And my, that's a big stick. I just love this stage for a hyena cub. The small ones are obviously very cute, but this stage is just so inquisitive and curious and exploring and full of energy. Anna Marie, I agree. It's a wonderful stage, even in leopard cubs, even in lion cubs. Of course, the small little fluffball stage is adorable. It's so cute. But once they all start to get to that age, which differs across the species, where they really want to explore, it's fun. It's interesting to watch because everything is interesting to these little cubs. Leaves, sticks, mounds, insects, grass, everything. Okay, we may stay here just a little bit longer, see what happens, but for now we're going to send you over to Chris.
Righty. Hard work paid off. And we have a lion. Another lion. It's that same male that myself and Gert had yesterday morning. Same young male. By himself. And in fact, the buffaloes are around in this area as well. And we've been tracking the buffalo. And while we were doing that, one of the other safari guides was also looking for the buffalo and found this lion. And he's still looking in that direction. I suspect that that's where the buffalo is. The herd of buffalo. I'm saying buffalo, it was actually a herd of buffalo. Sure, it's been a rough bit of tracking this morning to try and find the buffalo at first, and we haven't done that yet. But this was our plan, as I said this morning early with our sunrise, and that we want lion today. And I'm happy that we could achieve that. Fred is asking if this lion will attempt to hunt on his own. Fred, yes, he would definitely. Now, remember that male lions, when they're still sub-adults, they're not as stocky and heavy as fully grown males. So they are still a little bit more athletic, very much like the lionesses. So they still, and that's an adaptation. They made like that because, you know, they need to, whether they're alone or in a coalition, this is the time where they leave their natal pride. And they are largely required to find food themselves. So yes, it's not going to take on buffalo. It's probably not going to chase. He's probably going to target small prey, impala. They will pick up the odd tortoise. Often will chase leopards off their food. That's a technique they use a lot if they can discover leopards that's eating. And so they'll target small stuff. They will scavenge. They find something dead. And he's not in bad shape, to be honest with you. He's not like looks like he's starving. He is not in peak condition. But considering his situation, that he's by himself, young male, he's in okay condition, actually, to be honest with you. And I'll just have another vehicle coming in. We're gonna have to kind of like stick with him when he starts moving. Hello there, Waukesha. Yep, we've done it again. And that was kind of like what I was hoping for, is to get some lion. And we still have time. I mean, we're going to try and stick with him. We've got a bit of time to play with. So, right, we're going to try and regain or re-establish the sighting, or stick with this lion. And in the meantime, let's head over to Tessa to see what they're up to while we try and find this lion again.
Okay, so we had a nice clear view of a new addition to the giraffe family, but it seems to have gone into hiding behind Mom's bum, scared off by two very foreign-looking zebras coming very close by. It wasn't sure what it wanted to do when it saw the zebras approaching, so it went straight up to Mom and decided, I'm just going to stay here. Just stay where it's safe, stay at Mom's bum and hope protect me from these strange things. Mom quite nice and relaxed. She's actually still very rounded. We saw her in the open. She's still got quite a rounded belly, and her baby still has an umbilical cord. So she's given birth quite recently. We've been waiting for some new additions to the family because we noticed some heavily pregnant females. And alas, a little bit of patience and baby giraffe is back. It's out in the open and you finally get to meet the newest addition. How cute is this little thing? Hi, baby. You still look so nervous of everything. Look how tiny it is in comparison to Mum. So compare that to the other giraffe calves that we've got in the family that are a few months old already. They are getting adventurous. They're moving around together. They're leaving Mom's side. Mom is still looking very nice and rounded, and baby is following close behind all the time. And it's not really sure how it feels about us. Look how it's staring. Must be quite a strange concept. You've never seen these giant metal things before filled with funny looking, funny smelling people. Imagine how strange we must smell to an animal. I mean, not just humans, but I mean, there's the smell of the engine, the smell of any of our clothes or detergents that we use to wash our clothes, deodorants, body washes, whatever you can think of. We must smell quite strange, like a weird concoction to animals. So a little thing like this that's hearing strange noises, seeing a funny shape, smelling funny things, it must be quite overwhelming. But at least it seems to be not running away. It seems to be fairly relaxed. Very good at hiding, though. You wouldn't even know there's a baby giraffe there if you drove past now. But it is amazing to be able to see a new fluffy addition to the giraffe family. KG, it is an incredible size difference. It's hard to think that a whole baby giraffe fits into that mom. I mean, granted, baby giraffes are tiny in comparison, but imagine the weight of carrying a giraffe calf that's 2 meters tall. Quite impressive. Gives you a new respect for a big cow. I suppose mom, though, can weigh up to a ton, almost. So not that bad to have a little baby that's 2 meters tall inside of you. A not so little baby. I'm hoping if we're patient that it's going to come out again. I don't want to move closer because that might just scare the little one away and make it even more nervous. You can see it's still watching us every now and then. A very shy newborn. Gwen, the director, is saying it's impressive that this thing is 2 meters tall. Gwen is not even 1.5 meters tall, so she would be quite a bit shorter than this giraffe. Don't worry, Gwen, I would also be shorter than this giraffe. Most people that I know, in fact, would be shorter than this giraffe, which is quite crazy to think about. A newborn giraffe is taller than the average person by far. Hey, little one. You're doing a good job of feeding so far. I'd love to know when this one joined the family. So the umbilical cord can stick around for up to 3 weeks almost as it dries out and then the little stub falls off. But this one really is still quite tiny. And we haven't seen such a little one with the journey the last couple of times we've seen them, unless she's been hiding it, which is normal as well. She would have hidden in a thicket somewhere to keep the little one safe. But imagine being a 2 meter tall giraffe with incredibly long legs, and you've got to try and not only stand up but function as such a tall animal with legs that are disproportionately large in comparison to the rest of your body, and you've got a neck to deal with that's even longer. It's just crazy. Absolutely wild. So Mom is leading the little one towards the thickets. We're going to let them move a little bit and then we'll try and move forward because it looks like she's coming closer to the road. But this is that same area where we had the giraffes, the zebras, the eland, the gemsbuck, all the different animals together feeling nervous after hearing and smelling a lion, I'm sure.
Do you sometimes imagine what WildEarth would be like without adverts? A chance to properly immerse yourself in nature without any interruptions. Sign up to be an explorer for a small monthly fee and you can truly escape into the wilderness. Ad-free viewing is now available on our app as well as on our website. WildEarth, it's in your nature.
Wow, that is a special day for seeing such tiny newborns. I mean, it's baby season coming up, am I right? So we are still in winter, and usually Herbivores will try and time their births for the springtime. But the very special thing about the Eastern Cape in particular is because we have both summer and winter rainfall, sometimes both, sometimes neither, sometimes one or the other. Because of that, and especially this year, we've had a lot of really, really good rain. And so it's actually more likely to find births outside of the normal springtime boom that we see from most animals. It's quite normal to find births happening earlier on in places like this where there is usually fairly consistent rainfall, and also bear in mind a lot of the plants are evergreen. So you see it more with browsers than grazers because there's a lot more browse available with evergreen trees and bushes. Grazing a little bit more difficult because the grass dies off before the trees do. But you might see births anywhere during the entire year. Yes, we do see a boom in spring regardless, and that's the norm all over. But here, you're also fairly likely to see some outliers like these two little ones.
We decided to leave, well, we left the hyena den to make some space for our uggos. I could stay there all day, but of course, everybody wants to see them. So now we've just decided to bumble. Pick up on tracks, see what we can find. I feel like it's a very active morning this morning. Lots of fresh ellie dung piles. We obviously had that bull earlier. So I think there's a lot happening. This is my favorite time in the morning as well. It's just starting to warm up a little bit. The sun is out, but it's not hot by any means. I'm still wrapped up, but it's just changing. Everything now looks rich and vibrant, and it's a beautiful time. I love the smells as well. Everything smells so fresh, but your nose isn't so cold anymore, so you're getting all the scents in your nostrils. It's a lovely time to be around. I would like to catch up with some of the leopards. It's been a while. Maribe's crossed into Buffelshoek last night. Mowati, I never know where he is. And Kalamba, she's been a little bit tricky to sort of follow up on. But I would really love to see some spots. Look, no, it's not over at all. We are in the very heart of winter. Very, very heart of winter. Someone mentioned summer coming next month not so long ago, and that's definitely not the case. I think winter is officially June, July, August. And although they really don't have spring and autumn like the northern hemisphere, it is different. They do have those sort of transitional seasons that we just call spring and autumn. And I believe that is September, October, November, or September and October, and then summer will kick in properly around December. So we've got a while to go. It doesn't, I don't think it's got greener other than the new shoots that are appearing in various parts of the reserve. I just think it has retained a lot of greenery because we've had so much water, a lot of water. It's been a different winter than I've experienced in my short time here. I came when it was bone dry, and it's got sort of wetter and wetter, and this year, wow, it's been very different. So some parts of the reserve are very green. Look, definitely, you've spotted that. But some parts, I would say, still look really dry and barren and winter-esque. But it's definitely one of the greenest winters I've seen. I'm just driving really slowly on this road because that's a drainage line, and it's good to just Just try and see if there's anything happening in there. And then we'll check some dams and see if we can get lucky. I wonder what happened with that cheetah. I haven't heard an update. But I'm sure, spotty too. I don't know how Owen's gonna manage that. Can you work with this, Owen? Okay. We do have some vervet monkeys, but for now we're gonna send you over to Tess.
Well, our elephant was very close to us and wanted to eat from this bush that was right next to us of sweet thorn. Ooh, let me put that off. Sorry, that was my game drive video. And now this elephant bull has moved over to another bush. Also in the distance, sorry to do this to you, Lloyd, there's a giraffe just kind of staring at us too. Hello, giraffe. Yes, you're going to get some attention too. This giraffe looks a little judgy. But we did see this giraffe before we stopped for the elephants. We were just looking in opposite directions. We love you too, giraffe. But please excuse us if we focus on the elephant. So there's two bulls here. We only really have a view of the one. The other one is a little further away. And both these bulls are quite young. I wouldn't say that they're older than about 15. Maybe, yeah, between 15 and 17. Not really very old at all. But they're judging from their behavior. In fact, this one is a little older than the other one. The other one's a bit smaller. And they're very relaxed, which is surprising to see, because this is also around the age that they're being, well, they would have already just been pushed out of their natal herds. Usually when they're pushed out, what ends up happening is they get left behind a little more and a little more and a little more every time there's movement with the herd. And before they know it, there's this large gap. And if you imagine that time where there's just a lot going on hormonally for these young bulls, and then on top of that, socially, they've got to kind of distance themselves from these bonds that they've had over time. So it can be a really tumultuous time for young bulls. And so usually when I see bulls, 15 years old or so, around that age, and I see them on their own, I'm always extra cautious, because I understand that they're going through quite a bit, and sometimes they can be quite reactive as well. So I try to give them some distance. And that's exactly what we did with these ones. They saw us approaching. I approached really slowly, and I saw that they were very comfortable. So basically what I'm saying is, these two young bulls were very well behaved. I'm going to be quiet for a little bit, because I can hear some really wonderful sounds of the bush. Lots of tweeting of birds both near and far. And if you listen closely, you might be able to hear the crunching of these branches as the elephant eats. So let's take a moment to just absorb all these wonderful sights and sounds of the bush. Hi, Sir 50. You say that you have a huge respect for elephants. Absolutely. You know, I think it's really difficult not to have respect for them. Just not even thinking about their life history and the things they go through, which we'll chat about in a moment, but just thinking about just their size, how much space they take up, the power, the strength. That in itself, just from a very instinctual perspective, really makes you respect them. And then from another perspective, when we look at them and we know that culturally they're associated with wisdom, with memory, with emotion, relationship, strong bonds, in a way it reflects part of ourselves as humans. And I think that's one of the big reasons that we feel this respect, but also this closeness towards elephants, because they, at least from most animals out in the bush, they seem to reflect portions of ourselves more than the others do, or rather we can see it maybe more clearly than the others do. And that's not to say that the others are not worthy of respect or anything like that. That's not what I mean. I just mean that there's something that we see in elephants that feels like a reflection of ourselves.
Those sounds just go straight through you.
We finally found the whole dazzle of zebras that were making so much noise. They've all come out to where the giraffe family has been move browsing. And the tiny little foal is in the mix there. But there's a lot of drama happening this morning. There's a lot of grooming, a lot of biting, a lot of fighting. You can see how they've all congregated in one spot. So it seems like there are some social dynamics at play here. Zebras are known to be pretty rough animals. They like to bite and kick each other. They chase each other around. The thuds of their hooves as they kick each other are actually really loud. It sounds quite sore, but zebras are really strong, so they can handle it. But they are known to be one of the more aggressive animals on the social scene. A lot of movement happening. It seems like one or two zebras are circling the others, trying to instigate a bit of a fight. It's probably just a play fight or a let's bond fight. But regardless, it's been quite interesting to watch it unfold. Very clear difference to most of the other herbivores. You can see ears are back, biting, kind of instigating fights. And we're catching up with the zebra family. There's quite a young one on the left there disappearing behind the back. But it seems like there must be about, I think this is the dazzle of about 40 zebras together. 30 to 40 zebras. Very well camouflaged in amongst themselves. They don't even need to hide behind the bushes because they all blend in with each other. So they make it quite confusing to see who's who. We're watching the whole social scene unfold. Oh, there's the tiny foal in the middle. And it seems like everyone's very excited this morning. All the zebras are having a lot of interactions. This is a very dark zebra that's standing in front looking at us. Very big zebra. Very dirty. Had a bit of a mud bath. Oh, that foal is so little. Now, while all of the social interaction is unfolding, interesting topic since we've been looking at little babies between zebras and giraffes. There's actually a really cool difference between the two. Obviously not the fact that one is patchwork pattern and the other has stripes and that there's a clear height difference, but that the gestation period is actually fairly similar. So for zebras it's about a year. Those two are maybe considering having a baby at some point. They might be doing a bit of courtship. And for giraffes it's about 15 months. So it's not that big of a difference considering how much larger a giraffe calf is than a zebra foal. What is interesting though is the weaning period is totally off for both of them. So for a zebra is normally only weaned by about a year to a year and a half, which is pretty long for a zebra mom to suckle her foal. But if we compare that to the new little baby giraffe, that little baby giraffe is old for 8 months to a year. So it's a lot less than zebras tend to go on the longer scale, giraffes on a much shorter scale. And the reason for that is actually just down to the digestive system. So yes, giraffes eat browse and zebras graze, they eat grass. But the digestive system is so different that a zebra actually can't afford not to suckle for that long. Because giraffes are ruminants, I don't know if you've noticed, but a giraffe makes very small pellets. Their pellets are really fine, so everything that they process, because they are ruminants, everything gets processed a lot better, so their digestive process works a lot quicker, better than something like a zebra's. And the reason for that is because they have that four-chambered. So when a giraffe swallows food, it goes to the rumen, which is the first of the four chambers. It then brings up a bolus of food, chews it and swallows it, and that allows it to process the cellulose that it's a plant. Cellulose is quite hardy, so without getting through the cellulose, you won't get to the nutrients because that's in the cell walls. It keeps the nutrients safe. So because giraffes can do that, they can process a lot quicker, where zebras are hindgut fermenters, so they have to rely on bacteria, which takes a longer amount of time. So the foals have to suckle for longer. Very interesting, but I'll go into it a little bit more a little bit later. I'll send you over to Lauren in the meantime to see what she's up to.
Look who we found. We actually heard Batavia. It's a very iconic, loud call. It's quite repetitive. And I said to Owen, I can hear her. Where is she? Oh, I keep saying her. I can hear them. Where are they? And then, of course, we found Batavia. Not the best visuals is all we can work with right now, but I'm hoping we're going to get another call. Batavia, what are you doing? Cannot see your face. Just to the right is Dad. And it's interesting, Batavia's been with Dad every day. I haven't seen Mom. Can you hear that? That's Batavia. But don't worry, Mum will be somewhere, but it seems that Batavia is just sort of hanging around with Dad quite a lot, sitting in the same tree and just calling. It's such a noisy wee thing. It's very sweet, because you don't hear Dad call, you don't hear Mum call, you just hear Batavia. What is it? It's funny, I love to check the I'm really hoping you guys can hear that. I love to check the Roberts app. It's the best bird guide for me, and I love having it on my phone because it's just simple, it's easy, and I get in trouble for having too many books, as you all know. But in the Roberts bird app, they describe the call. And it's funny because they actually write out the sounds, and it can just be really entertaining sometimes. I can't do this one, but obviously for Battle Ear, it does say usually silent. I think it's safe to say Batavia's not silent. Batavia, Auntie Catherine is saying good morning. Did you hear that, Catherine? She said, good morning, Auntie Catherine. That's how that translates. Catherine, I know you love Batavia very much. And it's just so sweet to be able to follow this bird every day. I always find her or... I think Robert's Birds app needs to say juvenile Battle Ear's not normally silent. I always find Batavia on Weaver's Nest, very close to the old hyena dens where we are right now, or on a road we call Jigga Jigga. That's the little traverse of Batavia. We're just so lucky. We're so lucky to be able to see the hyena cubs. And we're so lucky to be able to see a juvenile Battle Ear. A very loud one. I don't remember Batilda calling this. This frequently. I wonder if it's hungry. You need to hunt, little one. You need to go find something to eat. Now, at 6 weeks, they self-feed. And Batavia is definitely older than 6 weeks. I'm thinking March, I think Tessa possibly first found Batavia or first got a sighting of a chick. So it's more than capable of hunting by now. But here we go. The fledgling returns to the nest after first flight and fed by adults. Fed by adults for up to 4 months after first leaving the nest. Okay. April, May, June, July. So maybe still fed by the adults now and again. So I wonder if this is a hunger call. If this is a, I am hungry. Mummy, Daddy, aren't you listening? Ralph, I could listen to the call all day too. It's a really beautiful call. It's very sweet. And I feel it sounds young. If you just listen really carefully, it sounds like a young bird making that call. So I didn't know that. That's a new fact for me too. Can be fed by adults for up to 4 months after leaving the nest. But can self-feed. So at 6 weeks, that must mean that when the adult delivers the food, it can obviously self-feed, it can eat. It's not being regurgitated by the adult. But obviously it's still been fed for quite a long time after 6 weeks.
Do you love relaxing at a waterhole with the sights and sounds of Africa all around you? Well, we have some really exciting news for you. From August 1st, Africam is joining forces with WildEarth to bring the majesty of Africa right into your living room with 9 incredible new waterhole cameras from across South Africa and Kenya. Get ready to embark on a new journey. This is Live at the Waterhole.
We are on the move. As you can see, I'm still very much layered up, but it's starting to warm up really nicely, so I can actually dispose of some layers very soon. I'm quite excited about our elephant and giraffe segment that we had earlier. I thought it was very nice. Got me all excited. On my first day, not even at a new reserve, first day back anywhere, whether it's at Djuma or if I'm going to Amakhala, whatever it is, the first day back, I also try to just join things. I just try to familiarize myself with the space, and especially for a new, I think it's quite important. So that's what I've been doing. And then in the distance, I saw what's known as the Bat Caves. So I hope that this evening we could maybe go and just park there as the sun is starting to go down. Let's see what happens, because, you know, I love bats. Bats, spiders and hyenas, my favorite creepy three. I'm also trying to keep my eye out for landmarks. I find landmarks very useful. For example, those bat caves that we saw there. And even trees, you know, some branch that's a little contorted in a certain way that may look like, I don't know, ballerina to me, whatever it is. Those kinds of landmarks are super useful. So I'm trying to keep my eye out for things like that. And also in the back of my head, remembering that it is possible that I could be lost, because, you know, this is my first day out. But I'm hoping that my sense of direction is gonna help us out, and if I'm correct, we should turn right soon. Oh, whoop-de-doo, we have some impala in front. There we go. It's just closer than we can stop, because I'm also trying to keep an eye out for that road that I'm meant to be taking, I think. Here we go. Good day, impala. It's always nice to share some impalas with you from the different locations. Hi, Anna Marie. You say you can't wait for me to meet the Mahiwa lions. I think I'm most excited about, I mean, yes, I'd love to meet the lions, of course, but I'm most excited about meeting some brown hyenas and the cheetahs. That would be really, really cool. But the Mahiwa lions as well, Anna Marie. I don't know what it is. I can't choose. I just want to meet everybody, see everything. Even lovely impalas. No, that doesn't sound right. Even implies that they were lower down on the ranks. I know they are common. They're often overlooked. We often drive past them. But at the same time, they're one of the most beautiful antelope out here. Obviously, the rut has died down, so we're not seeing any kind of obvious behavior from the impala. You know, they're pretty standard now. Mixed herds, not too much fighting, no practice sparring or anything like that. Everything is very chilled. This is kind of like the same old impala kind of time of the year. And then we wait for the rut again when we get to see all that personality, which I love, by the way. Anyway, let me send you back over to Cedric. Cedric's doing a bit of birding.
Thank you, Trishala. As yes, we've got the largest eagle in Africa that's sitting on this dead tree. So this eagle is known as a martial eagle. Isn't that beautiful? We don't get to see them that often around here. I think we got to see a martial eagle here on Djuma maybe, I think it was about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. And now this one. Oh. And if you're looking at a wingspan, a large wingspan, well, this eagle has got that. It's 2.2 meters long. That's the wingspan of a martial eagle. Of course, preying on quite large prey species, things from a steenbok, baby impalas, monitors, even your guinea fowl. So they love guinea fowl. So you'll find if this eagle starts flying, you'll hear all the squirrels alarm calling, all the birds will alarm call, because they know that this is quite a ferocious bird of prey, predator. So in Afrikaans we call it a breedkop arend. So breedkop means wide head eagle, because you can see when they've got that beautiful crest out, it looks like it's got quite a wide head. Well, yes, as you know, WildEarth, we all love your support and all your comments every single day. So from the month of August, that's of course the month that's coming up now, we want to acknowledge our biggest fans. And one day, every week on the live show, we will pose a question to you, the viewers, to go and answer. So make sure that you stay tuned to the live shows and social media for more information. The vehicle that's coming behind us. If you do hear a vehicle coming past, I do apologize. But look at this. Now, I love it when you see the front of it. It's got a beautiful white breast, and it's got those little black marks on the breast itself, or the chest area. Quite stunning. Lisa, it is a beautiful sighting. They are stunning. So we are quite far from this eagle at the moment. We're at least a good maybe 100 meters away. And as you can see, it is quite large from where we are. So you can imagine being right next to it. I do apologize about the vehicles coming past. So there is some noise here. So of course what this eagle now is doing is just standing or sitting up on this dead tree, just looking around if there's any potential prey.
Not everyone gets excited to hear a leopard chuff, spot a pangolin, or see a real impala rat. But if you are wild about the wild, you can become part of a community of like-minded nature lovers and share authentic wildlife experiences with the world. Join the Explorers Club and you will also enjoy the many benefits that come with it too. WildEarth Explorers, it's in your nature.
What do you see? And although their features are not as big as the bigger predators because they are smaller animals, if we take a closer look, you'll see they've got quite a pronounced snout, excellent sense of smell, quite big ears for the face. If you look at it in proportion to the face, the ears are really prominent. Decent sized eyes. They're remarkably sharp in so many ways. Taking in sensory input from the ears, the nose, the eyes, to try and figure out what's going on. Its feet almost look too big with those huge sharp claws. You have big feet.
We are still soaking in the beautiful stripes of the dazzle of zebra. It just seems to be ending. There are zebras all around us, giraffes moving through. And at the moment we're admiring a zebra crossing. They're looking a bit nervous because I think all of the interactions between some of the older ones have been a bit intimidating for the zebras that are just joining the party. But I was going into a pretty in-depth discussion about the digestive systems. Oh, we might have a car. Yeah. We might have a car going in the background. I can't do it. Guys, today is just that day. It's amazing. Having an in-depth discussion about the digestive system, talking about the giraffe being a ruminant, right? So it's a really strange thing, actually. You can see the bolus of food coming back up from the rumen all the way up that long neck. The giraffe chews and chews and chews and swallows, and it'll keep doing that over and over until it feels that it's broken the cell walls down enough, or the cellulose, to get to the nutrients on the inside of the leaves. The giraffe pellets are really, really fine. It's almost like dust on the inside. Impressive. So they're very good digesters, which means that the little one, as soon as it started feeding, so it'll start browsing within the first month, as soon as it's figured out how to do this process properly, it no longer needs to suckle. And so it takes a few months, but anywhere from about 8 months to just under a year, a giraffe calf should be completely weaned. It's usually between 8 to 10 months is a good average. Now, in comparison to the zebras that you can see coming back out in the open, zebra dung is more like elephant dung. It's these big balls that are quite rough. You can see the grass bits in them. They're not fine and dusty like a giraffe's pellets. And the reason for that is because a zebra is a hind gut fermenter. So it's not a ruminant. It does not have the 4-chambered stomach. It has a 1-chambered stomach. But their specialty is, it's called the cecum. It's where the large and small intestine meets. That can store food. And where it's stored in that cecum can build up bacteria, and the bacteria will break down the cell walls, allowing the zebra to digest all of those little nutrients that you'll find within the cells. But that's also what makes zebras look so bloated and gassy. It's what makes them gassy. There's so much bacteria building up that they have to be gassy. There's no other choice. But because that process takes longer and they're not as good at digesting, a zebra foal is going to have to suckle, even though it's smaller than a giraffe. It's going to have to suckle for a lot longer than a giraffe calf would, because it's not as good at getting nutrients out of the plants that it's trying to eat, purely because of the way its digestive system works. And so a little foal will suckle for up to about 1.5 years, which is a long time for mom to be producing milk, just to make sure that the baby is getting enough nutrients while it's still in that important growing phase. So it's quite an interesting change or difference between giraffes and zebras. And I mean, since they're always together and we've seen the most adorable baby giraffe and the most adorable baby zebra today, it's a perfect comparison using the digestive system to show how they are similar but different. My goodness, zebra, you are looking overly bloated. I think you might be pregnant at the same time. And she's busy doing both of those processes we just spoke about. She looks pregnant, so she's in her gestation and she's getting ready to start producing milk while she's taking a poo, showing us her dung. Cairo, yes, there will be vegetation that zebras and giraffes can't eat. Zebras are much more fussy than giraffes because giraffes are browsers. Wow, that zebra is really chasing the others at the back. Lots of unrest today. Oh, there's a fight. They're choosing violence. Sad. Very typical for zebras. But yes, so zebras are grazers, which means they eat majority grasses, and they eat the long pieces of grasses that you can see on the top. It's very low in nutrients, so they have to eat quite a lot to try and get some of that out. But zebras won't really go for much browse unless they absolutely have to, and they cannot handle toxins because grasses are not usually toxic at all, where browsers are much more used to handling toxins because trees can produce toxins more than grasses do. So zebras won't really browse much, but when they do, they'll be very specific. They might eat sweet thorn, they might eat one or two other things, but they will not touch other browse unless they are absolutely desperate. And there will be things that are toxic to zebras. Anything that would have a higher dose of toxins, things like tambwetis, things like euphorbias, they cannot even touch it. It's not worth it. But a giraffe will be different. So because giraffes are predominantly browsers and they only graze a little bit, so they eat more leaves and occasionally supplement with grasses, giraffes are used to processing the toxins because leaves are very tanniny. Tannin builds up in the system. It tastes very bitter, but it can have a knock-on effect. Giraffes can actually tolerate things like tambwetis and euphorbias as well, which are toxic to other animals. Other animals that can do that as well, things like monkeys can eat toxic foods or toxic substances. So can elephants and so can black rhinos, and to a degree white rhinos can as well, but again, they're grazers like zebras, so they can handle it a bit less than black rhinos, which are browsers like giraffes and eat leaves. So there will be certain things that they can't eat. They will know from a very young age what they can and can't eat because they can smell the chemicals. Hello, giraffe. They can smell the chemicals, but at the same time they're watching what the adults are eating as well and then learning from the adults. So there will always be something toxic to any of these animals. Also, if I say that giraffes can eat toxic things, it doesn't mean they can survive on only that. They can tolerate it to a degree. And after that, noisy zebras, after that it becomes much more difficult for them to regulate. So those toxins will build up in the liver and the kidneys, the centers of your body or the organs of your body that are in charge of filtering out toxins from your bloodstream, from your digestive system, from all of it. And that kind of filters through the body. So as soon as it starts building up, they will start experiencing organ failure. And in fact, animals, even things like kudus that can tolerate mapanis and to a degree tambwetis, if they eat too much, they'll actually kill themselves. But we are going to stick around with these ones and see what they decide to do. There's lots happening and lots to talk about. So we'll send you over to Lauren in the meantime, who is doing some birding.
We came across one of my favourites. They're all my favourites. A brown hooded kingfisher. I think it's a male, but I'm just having trouble trying to see if that shoulder patch is actually brown or black. But it looks pretty dark, so I'm going to go with male. But I just played the black-headed oriole call earlier as one of my favourite calls, and I want to now play you my second favourite call. This is the black-backed puffback. I hear it all the time here and I can never get this bird on camera. I try, but are you ready? Isn't that such a great call? That's my second favorite call. Owen was saying he particularly enjoys the morning collared dove. Oh! Beautiful first part of the call. Let's just play that again, can I? Oh, that's the laughing dove, sorry. I like that first part. I like that, Owen. That's a nice one. It's very sweet. But our kingfisher, well, he wasn't enjoying the bird calls, which is fine. That's okay. There are actually so many bird calls that I enjoy. I love the red-chested cuckoo as well. Oh, that's such a lovely one. It's really hot at this side. I've just put sun cream on and I'm trying to keep all protected, but also it's hot at the same time. What a morning. Wow, these hyena tracks are on top of my vehicle tracks. Firstly, we get asked this question a fair bit, and you can really go birding all day. Most birds are diurnal, so they're very active and they're out and about during the day, making the most of the sunshine between sunrise and sunset. So really any time, but I personally enjoy sunrise and sunset time because that's when I find, especially in the morning, once the sun is coming up, once you've got enough light, the bird calls are just phenomenal. They're wakening up. They're sort of calling their little hearts out to say, I'm still here. I made it through the night and this is still my territory. Some of the calls are extremely territorial, but they just sound so beautiful to us, like a little melody that we don't actually realize. It's quite an aggressive territorial call. And also at sunset, squeezing that last call out before the sun goes down. So I particularly enjoy hearing the sounds as well as seeing the birds. But technically you can go birding all day, unless you're looking for nocturnal species. But naturally, once it gets pretty hot for us at midday, it's quite uncomfortable. So I think the sunrise and sunset times are really perfect to go birding. I mean, you get people that travel up and down the country just to see specific species. It's amazing, some of the birders out there. But I like calls. You might need to repeat that comment, MC, just to make sure I've got it correct. I'm trying to think where I want to go. Catherine, your favorite call is the first morning chorus. Okay, I think I know what you mean. You're meaning you just love to hear the sounds of all the birds in the morning. It's obviously not one bird call. But okay, yes, the dawn chorus is absolutely, it's wonderful. But that chorus is a mixture of all the birds calling it all at one time. You can tell me what your favorite bird calls are, everyone. Or the ones you hear on WildEarth from any of the locations. You do find different species in different locations, especially Amakala. They have a lot of unique, beautiful bird species. Oh! Hi, I didn't even see you guys there, sorry. We do have some zebra over here, so we're just going to get a little bit closer.
Did you know that the WildEarth team makes weekly behind the safari content? Would you like to get to know the WildEarth family better? See how we live.
This is Igor's bedroom.
Learn about our production process. And see the antics that happen off camera. Sign up to be an explorer and you will get access to all this content and more.
The zebras are still here, and it's definitely still the same herd. I know that because second from the left is the female that I'm able to identify. If you can find individual characteristics or special markings on an individual, then you know that it's the same individual that you're seeing time and time again. And it definitely is. It's just the same herd that is seen on quarantine every single day. Quarantine's our open area. It's just so wonderful to have them here. You can go months without seeing zebra in Djuma. Obviously, areas like Madikwe, it's completely different. But here, you can go a long time without seeing them. They love fresh new shoots, and of course, fresh new shoots are popping up everywhere now. The zebras will be happy. There's plenty of water. It's a good time to be a zebra. The reason I came back to this open area is because we tend to check it first thing in the morning because it's right next to our camp. But then we all go our separate ways. I go to the hyena day and Cedric does his thing, and we tend to forget about this area because there's a lot of movement. Lions, leopards, hyenas, they all love this area. So do the zebras, clearly. Roly-poly time. And it's a nice open area for the cheetah. We've had cheetah on quarantine before. The cheetah might have gone back west, might have gone north, I don't know. But if it moved east, it would reach this open area. You never know. Ten out of 10. I maybe should have dust bathed yesterday instead of wallowing. It would be kinder to my bathroom. Okay, we've got some birds. Ray, you love the fish eagle and the pearl-spotted owlet. Let me play them. Here we go, fish eagle. It's quite iconic. It's quite an easy one to remember. Almost sounds like laughter. And the pearl-spotted owlet. Here we go. It's a nice call, quite repetitive and also quite easy to identify, I would say. Alrighty, Anna Marie and Steph. Oh, goodness. You guys love the woodland kingfisher. Chip, chirr. I will play it. Although I think everyone enjoys the break from it in winter, to be honest. Woodland kingfisher. Look at the zebra confused. It's not summer. And the last one I'll play for you all, Laura Cam. You love the fiery-necked nightjar. Nice one. I also love that one too. Let me just get the nightjar up. It's such a fantastic app. You ready? Zebra's also confused. It's not nighttime. That's beautiful, Laura Cam. I agree. I do agree. Fish eagle, very iconic. Woodland kingfisher, very iconic of summer. And the fiery-necked nightjar, also quite iconic of nighttime. But it's not summer or nighttime zebra, don't worry. Everyone loves different calls. I'll just play that red-chested cuckoo for you because I mentioned it earlier, and then that will be the last one. Lisa, you're welcome. You're loving all the bird calls and this morning. It's a nice relaxed morning, isn't it? Okay, here's a red-chested cuckoo. It's quite repetitive, but for me, it really reminds me of some really good summer sightings. Really good sightings that I've just sat with a leopard or dogs or lions or hyenas, and I can just hear that in the background. I think that's why I love that call so much. Humans make associations, maybe with colors like black and white stripes, or sounds like a bird call, or even smells. And they're so powerful, we're so in tune to our sensory world that it can actually make an immediate association with something when they're not linked in reality at all, but in your sensory world, in your own world, they're linked. Maybe a smell immediately takes you back to a moment, or maybe the smell of a flower reminds you of a person, or an animal, or a season. And it's amazing that our brain works like that. This is so wonderful. These zebra are very relaxed. Sometimes you'll find they're not so relaxed here. Sam, they are staying around. They like us all, enjoying the attention. And it's funny because when I think of the collective noun dazzle, I always think of the definition of dazzle, and that is brightness that blinds someone temporarily. So I think of jewels or really bright lights or a prism or something that's sparkling that you have to shield your eyes from it. And it's funny, I don't associate that word with zebra. How can I say this? I wouldn't have chosen dazzle for zebra. Is that how you feel about that too? And obviously when they run, it's a bit of a blur and all the blacks and whites merge in together, or they're not even colours or shades, but I don't ever think dazzle. I don't know if you guys agree. You probably won't, but I think it's quite a random choice for zebras. I think words that would refer to blur or monochromatic would be much better. Gorgeous coloration. Sometimes I get lost in the sighting too, just watching them all. Heather, yes, it's wonderful to have them on Juma. They've been here now quite a few days. But when I first arrived in Juma, they were not. There was no zebra around, no tracks of them, no signs of them. But now they're here and they're going to join their friend. Who is their friend? It is, of course, Mr. Wildebeest over here. Always hanging around. You know, we had a sighting in Madikwe that was so lovely. It was a brand new wildebeest calf just sitting on the ground resting, and a zebra came right up to inspect the calf, a bit like, oh, you're not inspecting him. That wasn't very friendly. I don't think our wildebeest is in a very good mood today.
Look at how interested this elephant was with the interesting sound we had on the vehicle just now. It was just the movement of the little satellite dish. But we love that this little elephant was curious about it. Now Lloyd is just going to wipe the lens quickly. Give it a bit of a wipe. I wonder if he'll show you his face.
Not today.
Unlucky, unlucky. We'll catch Lloyd's face another time. There we go. And our elephants are still on that side. We've just got the pole in the way. Alright, it's fine. We'll sit and chill and have a look at the view for the next few moments.
Alright, so I've just made my way down to Gowrie Dam, and you can see on this fallen over tree, on this log, we've got a beautiful Nile monitor that's enjoying the early morning sun. But look at those claws. Those claws are huge. But of course you'll find many times a lot of the monitors, all these cold-blooded animals, or early morning they'll be doing a little bit of thing called sunning because they are ectothermic. But oh, look at those claws. Now you can understand digging up all those things like the frogs and catching fish in the dams. Those claws are very, very important, but you don't want to get clawed by this reptile. Not a good thing at all. But he's just enjoying the sun. Warming up, ectothermic, so in other words they pretty much get their energy from the sun. Oh, there's like a fly on him. Looks like a fly that's moving around. Or is it an ant? Oh, it's an ant. An ant just moved right across this Nile monitor's body. But yeah, he's just enjoying it. And usually we get to see 2 or 3 of them around here. Around on this dead log. Nice patterns. I love that yellow spots. Very huge muscular tail. And they use that tail, of course, swimming in the water. They're fantastic swimmers, and as well as they use it in the defense. So if you approach a monitor, even if it's a rock monitor or a Nile monitor, they'll whip that tail out at you, and it's like almost like a leather belt. I've been smacked by that tail a few times, and it is quite sore. It's a long, long tail. Vince, yes, no, they can climb quite high into the trees and that, so sometimes you'll actually, when you drive past some of these dams or rivers and that, and you look in the trees next to the water area, sometimes you can see these monitors right up in the tree itself. So yes, they can climb. There's a lot of ants that's just moving. The ant wants to go almost in the eye. No, he's decided to rather get off the monitor before that monitor decides to snap it up. But yeah, you also don't want to get bitten by them. They've got so much bacteria in that mouth. And when you get bitten by a monitor, you must make sure that you do clean that wound very quickly, or else it'll get septic. Now we saw a martial eagle a little bit earlier, so that martial eagle preys a lot on monitor lizards. So you'll find quite often there's a few nice clips of a martial eagle riding on a monitor's back, trying to kill it, because of course the martial eagle's claws are very, very long and sharp as well. So to really get through the skin of a monitor, it takes quite a bit. It takes quite sharp claws to get through. Right, well, we're going to continue towards a nice open clearing there south of our camp, just to see what's happening around that side. Let's head over to someone at the dam. Chris. Yeah, let's head over to Chris.
Oh, what a perfect way to end, rather get to the later stages of this morning as well as the shift. We did say we want to now go and find those buffalo after we had that lion, and we did, even though it took us a while. Look at this beautiful scene. There's even an elephant here. This is very pretty. There's still some more buffalo arriving. This is not all of them. I can see some more buffalo coming that are still en route. This is absolutely stunning stuff. The light, everything. Oh, there's a lot of buffalo still coming. So not all of them. just like cattle. They brrr. Probably one of the reasons I like buffaloes so much. Because I obviously come from a strong farming background. They do remind me of cattle. I mean, they're obviously related. Genetically not close enough to domestic cattle to interbreed. This is essentially sub-Saharan Africa's wild ox species. Hi there, Henry. Yeah, you're 100% right there. This is very, very cool. I love everything about it. The light, the setting, the fact that it took us a while to find them. It's perfect timing with them in the water and also with the elephant that's around us. It just adds a little bit to the background of everything here. It's just perfect. There's a lot of yellow-billed oxpeckers around here. Yellow-billed oxpecker once very common in this area, and then nearly became extinct throughout most parts of the country. One of the success stories in modern conservation efforts, becoming a more and more of a common sight again in the Lowveld. So much so that when I started guiding in this area in '99, if you saw a yellow-billed oxpecker, it would have been called in the radio, hey guys, there's a herd of buffalo, just check, there's a yellow-billed oxpecker. And then you get a herd like this, and there's like 20 of them, 30 of them, so they are becoming relatively abundant again. Yes, we're going to run a touch forward. Johan's just going to see if he can't get you another view. Okay, cool. There we go. Thanks, John's happy now.
Stay up to date with the latest happenings at WildEarth. Discover what goes on behind the scenes and get a weekly recap of the best moments on the channel.
He's got it! And he's straight up a tree!
Sign up to be an explorer and receive our newsletter written just for you and sent straight to your inbox every week. WildEarth Explorers, a club for people who are passionate about nature.
Thank you for joining us and have a fantastic morning.
beautiful roller up there, Owen. I don't know if you see it. Just at probably your 9 o'clock. I'll direct you in the monitor. Way over here. Yeah, up here. Beautiful lilac breasted roller. Just caught something and landed. Right, look at the monitor. Yep, there you go. If I just directed you the wrong way, I can see it with my naked eye. Oh, it's this tree. I don't know how to direct Owen. No, wrong tree. Oh, that's the tree. Zoom out. I can't see because of that big splodge. Anyway, we'll just give you some beautiful views of the trees. I don't know how to direct Owen to this beautiful roller up there. It is there somewhere.
Buffalo's still around. They're still around, so is the elephants. And this is typically what they'll do. They'll linger around a bit here, make sure they get a good fill in terms of water. And then these buffalo will probably try and find some shady spots where they will spend the rest of the day until late afternoon, where they're going to go and chew the cud or ruminate. And that is something that's usually done lying down with the head upright. Kind of like going into a sleep-like fashion, but their head's still upright. And they're going to kind of like chew every bits of pieces of food that's not finely chewed or masticated. Basically, that they've consumed through the night and early morning. And they need a lot of water for that, and that's another reason why they are drinking now. Beverly, spa day, spa morning, yeah. It's more bar day because they're here to drink water. At the same time, they do, get rid of a few sort of like bits and pieces of dirt and mud. Some of the older bulls you'll also see they'll roll in the mud. Yeah, well, I am delighted. I am delighted. This was really the morning I was hoping for a way to end my current shift. So I will be back on Thursday next week, afternoon, the 3rd. This afternoon, Liam is going to entertain you on behalf of Pridelands. Liam will be back this afternoon to take over until I am Thursday afternoon. Ruth, my pleasure, and you're welcome. And Ruth is just thanking for such a beautiful drive this morning. This is the perfect way to end a drive and a shift. So, as I mentioned, we have a crew changeover. Also, there's going to be a changeover in cameraman. Johan is also still here this afternoon. But I'm not going to spoil the surprise on who's coming in as camera operator. I think I'm going to leave that to the guys tomorrow to announce that. Wow. Anyway, everybody, this was fantastic, wasn't it? Lion. Now we've got buffalo, we've got the elephant, and I could not have hoped for a much better way to end this very short shift. But like I said, back next week, Thursday, and then hopefully I can there take and continue where Liam will be taking off. So keep watching. Liam will host you this afternoon. Make sure that you make time and tune in. See you again in about a week's time. Goodbye, everybody.